Hi, welcome again to Mom's Kitchen. Okay, here we are again. We have our pig's tail and salt beef. It's already washed with lime, and at this point, we're going to cut it in small pieces so we can give it a boil and just boil out a bit of the salt. And then we do about 3 boils and a bit of the salt. So at this time, we're going to prepare the meat in small dices, okay? And also another easy method if you're unable to cut or chop the meat, what you need to do, especially pig tail, because it's usually hard. So what I recommend you could also do is boil it on the stove about 2 or 3 times, and then you pressure it and then you cut it. It would be much easier, okay? But at this way, we're gonna cut it in small pieces, we're gonna boil it, and then we're gonna pressure it. Okay, everyone, here we are. We're cutting the last piece of pig's tail and we're gonna put everything together in the pot of water that we have. We're gonna bring it to a boil. When we bring it to the boil, then we're gonna throw that water off to remove some salt. Then we put some fresh water on top of the pig's tail and salt beef. Bring that to another boil, so that's 2 boils, and then we're going to throw that water off. For me, I don't want too much salt, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it again to a boil, and when I bring it to a boil, I'm going to throw off the last set of water. After that, I will put it in the pressure cooker. Okay. I'm going to use this water, and the next step that we're gonna do is get our red kidney peas. We're gonna have it washed. This is what the package looks like. You can also get dark kidney peas that even encourage the color. And the next step we're gonna do is put everything, including pimentos, maybe 4 or 5 grains of pimentos, a teaspoon of garlic, and we're gonna put all of it together with the meat in the pressure cooker or the slow cooker, whatever you have, or hot pot. In this case, I have a hot pot, and I will use about 25 minutes on the hot pot setting on the meat to pressure, okay? Okay, guys, this is wonderful. We checked on our peas. It is cooked. Pig's tail is cooked. Salt beef is cooked. Now, if your peas is not cooked, you need to put it back for 15 minutes. Different peas have different timing, okay? Now, our next step is to pour out everything from our hot pot. Okay, guys, here we have it. Our stew is in the pot. We make some small long dumplings that we call spinner in Jamaica. So we use our flour and our water, mix it together, make dumplings. You can find my shorts on how to make dumplings, and we're gonna spin it together and we're gonna drop it in the stew. We're gonna add onions, half cup onions. We're also gonna add half cup sweet pepper. This step was missed in the recording, but you need to add 1 tin of coconut milk. and stir it with everything as well, okay? Okay, everyone, our stew is looking wonderful. We're gonna add to our stew a quarter cup of Badia. We're gonna just give it a stir. Stir it a bit so we can just mix the flavors around. We're gonna add a pepper as well and continue stirring it. Try not to break the pepper because if it's broken, then it will give you too much spice and you just want to have the flavor, not necessarily so much pepper. It will still have pepper, but not intense. So children can also enjoy the meal. We're going to give it a stir. Our spinners, which is small, long dumpling, flour dumpling. And our inside of that, we have our pig's tail, our salt beef, everything together to make our wonderful stew. Isn't it looking awesome? This is so wonderful. We're going to put a tablespoon of thyme, crushed thyme, or grounded thyme. If you have springtime, you can put a spring at this point in. If you notice, I didn't add any salt because the pig's tail is already salt, and the Badia all-purpose seasoning has salt in it as well. Just give it a stir. Just make sure everything is flowing. Make sure your heat is on medium at this. We're gonna add a little flour paste. Mix a small, about maybe half cup of flour with some water. We're gonna mix it out, no lumps, and make sure that when we pour it in, we stir it as we pour it in. Okay, and this is gonna give your stew peas a body. If you have a lot of peas, then you don't need this, but we have a certain amount of peas and we're making stew peas, so this is our trick to the trade. So we're gonna stir it in and let it have that body, that thickness in the stew. Okay, guys? Continue to stir it. Let the flour paste that we make to continue to go across the stew. Just continue stirring it, guys. You're doing an awesome job. The stew is looking fabulous. We love that. It is beautiful, thick. This can be served with white rice. It's just an awesome family meal. Stir as we're getting the stew all together. We just make it simmer in just about 5 more minutes to let the flavor go in. Our flame is on medium, or you can just even bring it down to a little bit lower than medium, halfway to low to medium. Just put it right in the middle right there and just let your flavors simmer, your stew simmer. And we're getting ready to put together our final dish. And remember, presentation is important. So how you present the stew and the rice. We're gonna share it with rice. It's important, okay? Thank you guys for watching.